Hi, and welcome to Healing Within the Journey. My name is Kyla Harvey, and in the last few months, I found out that I could journey, and it has been the most awakening part of my awakening process. There's so much truth in the knowledge received through journeying. I journeyed earlier today, and the message that came through was so clear. And the question was, are you comfortable? Look at right where you are at right now and just feel all the things that you are comfortable with. Feel all the things that make you uneasy or provide you with anxiety or depression or fear. And no judgment, just it is what it is. Right at that moment, wherever you're at, that's just the moment. We all know that if you look back to 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, your moments were different. So you evolve. Nothing stays the same. So allow it to just be, as opposed to feeling any kind of way about where you're at. Ask yourself, who are you comfortable around? What experiences create comfort for you? And then the biggest question is, are you comfortable with yourself? Can you sit with yourself or go get a mani-pedi by yourself, or, go to the barbershop by yourself, eat a meal by yourself? And how do you feel just being with yourself? When you wake up in the morning, that first look when your hair is crazy, you might got some, drool on the side of your lip. Can you still look at yourself and just say, this is me? No judgment, no good judgment, no bad judgment. Just, this is me. And when you say that and you feel, do you find comfort? The process of consciously awakening and knowing that you're awakening can feel like you have a lot of information to intake, a lot of changes to happen, you're supposed to do a lot. But really, you're supposed to feel a lot. Because yourself tells yourself what it likes. The question is, are you listening? Is it normal? Society tells us it's normal to settle. You settle, you make sacrifices, you compromise. Do you? Do you have to? Is that genuinely supposed to be a part of our life? Or is that what we were taught by people who sat in situations that were uncomfortable when we have a choice? I want to give an example of something that could register with people. And I think the most common example is that of a relationship, because no matter what, we all have had a relationship: brother, sister, mother, partner, wife, husband, whatever the case, right? We all have had relationships. And you hear people say all the time, well, that's my mom. Well, that's family. I have to be loyal. Oh, well, that's my husband. No, you don't have to settle. And there are different ways to change it. It doesn't mean you need to leave your mom high and dry. It doesn't mean you need to get a divorce from your husband. But it does mean that a conversation needs to be had with yourself, that boundaries need to be put into place. You might need some policies. You might need some standards. Maybe you don't go to your mom's house every week anymore. Maybe you meet her at lunch, 1 hour, and that's it. That's all that you can handle, where you can still be comfortable. I saw my mom. I know she's okay. Boom. Done. In a marriage, right? As long as it's not toxic and harming, and you feel like you have a partner that you can express yourself with, right? Have these conversations of what feels good and what doesn't, and ask them like where they're settling or where they're uncomfortable. Maybe they're uncomfortable when you have girls' night and he's home and y'all are cackling, and then say, okay, well, how can we change this? All right, well, you go to the movies, or you do this, or you know what, we'll do it at Beth's house instead of doing it here. Whatever. There are places that you have choices to move. You also have a choice to change your perspective. Because maybe him not taking out the trash isn't so bad. Because he's a good dad and he's a good husband, and that's just a little quirk. So maybe you change your perspective so that every time you see the trash can and you start to get frustrated, think of something positive about it. Perspective can cause a lot of discomfort. So know what's real, what is something that is crossing a boundary, and know what is something that, your dad always took out the trash for your mom, so you think your husband then should take out the trash for you. But are you looking at everything else that's happening? Are you looking at how he shows up? Are you looking at the things that he does show up at as opposed to the things that he doesn't? Which segues me right into, you might have 72 things bad happen. Bad. 72 desired expectations of the day. 5 of those 72 were exactly what you wanted it to be. You don't need to call Karen and tell Karen all the things that went wrong. How about you call Karen and you tell her the 5 things that went right? You feed what feels good so that what feels good grows. If you're gonna feed what feels bad, you're gonna feel bad. Those things that didn't feel good, you honor them. You acknowledge them. But without judgment, without expectation. And then you let them lie. Focus on what is comfort. Focus on what did go right. Focus on what is good. And then the next day it won't be 5, it'll be 10 good things. And the day after that it won't be 10 good things, it'll be 15 new good things. We tend to dwell in the bad, in the dense, in the negative, as opposed to giving in to what does feel good. We're also influenced by other things that cause us discomfort. So if you wake up and the first thing you do is turn on the news, and then you hear all that mumbo jumbo, and I hear it all the time. I just turn on the news, that way I can, know the traffic before I get out there. Just look it up. Just look up what's going on with the traffic. Because while you're trying to get information about the traffic, you're also given a whole bunch of, generally speaking, dense information. And that's what you're consuming first thing in the morning. Where instead you could play, a nice podcast or a cooking show or just something that's more light and airy, something that would provide you with laughter and joy. Know what you're putting into yourself through your eyes, through your mouth, on your skin. Know that. You don't have to settle. You can focus on what feels good. Focus on the things that are comfortable. And then we're going to move into honor. Once you start honoring the things that are around you, you can see them in a new light. So we're honoring everything, right? Honor the water that goes in your body. There's so many cultures that honor water. And I won't go all the way into it, but it's a very spiritual experience because we are made of water. So we are naturally connected to water. Honor the food that you put in your body. Honor the clothes that you put on your skin. Honor the makeup that you put on your face. Honor the people that are around you. And as you honor these things, notice how they make you feel. So maybe you ordered a pizza with extra cheese and meat on it, and then you ate it, and I bet it was so delicious. I bet it was so good. But then 30 minutes later, you have acid reflux. So acknowledge that honoring, right? Like I honored the pizza that went into my body, and now my body is telling me that I am uncomfortable. Maybe next time you'll make a different choice. And put something in your body that doesn't make you feel that way. Honor the people that are around you. And let's say every time you meet up with Bob, you leave and you feel dense and you feel tired and you feel irritated and then you're kind of grouchy and then you go home and then you give that energy to your family. Acknowledge that you honored having an experience with Bob. And then discuss with yourself whether that's the type of energy that you want. And then you can put together, you can let Bob go. Maybe Bob's not really, a good friend. Or maybe you have boundaries for Bob. How long you're going to spend with Bob, the topics that you're going to go into with Bob, maybe the location that you meet Bob at. And you find a way to get the things from other people that feel good and that resonate with you. That way you can stay your soulful self and not take on the energy of others. You be aware, you honor, and then you release anything that does not serve you. So we'll bring up a big one, your job. So many people say that they don't like their job. Then go find a job that you like. Right? Or find the things within your job that you do like. It might be the receptionist. Then go to work, make sure you say hi to that receptionist, and hold that feeling through your day. Instead of I don't like my job, I don't like the guy that sits next to me, I don't like that I have to answer the phone, I don't like that I have to work with people. Because you're perpetuating more of that feeling if you're going to honor those feelings as opposed to releasing those feelings and honoring the feelings that feel good to you, that feel comfortable to you. Or you go get a different job, or you create a job. You make a list of the things that you are comfortable with, and then go find something that fits that list. And it may not even be a job that you ever would have thought you had, but it allows you to only work Monday through Friday. It allows you to only work 8 hours. Whatever it is that you want your experience to be, right? Like, know that is your comfort. Go find your comfort. You don't have to settle. When I journeyed, my fiance's guide came through. His name is Hemshu. And he's such a beautiful spirit. And one of the things that he said, and I quote, "A full life is a life filled with love and intentional choices. Previous to wanting to come into yourself or to wanting to feel better within this life, you made choices based on what? On what your parents taught you, showed you, told you, expected you to do? On what society says you should, shouldn't, can, can't do? What social media shows you is cool to do? Are you making intentional choices for yourself? That dictates who's around you, you know, what you eat, what activities you do, what experiences you have, how you feel every moment of every day. And this is when you sit with yourself and you write down all the things that make you comfortable, all the things that feel good, and just keep perpetuating those things. So when your friend asks you to go to a country bar and you don't like country music and you don't really like being out and you don't like drinking, invite your friends over, you know, for like a little ladies' night or a little small party where you can have your little mocktail and they can still have their beverages and you can feel comfortable in your home. You don't have to drive. Allow yourself the space, the option. Look outside the box. Don't just say yes. Feel it. Feel before you make a choice. And I know some things are hard. When you have children, when you feel like you're stuck at a job because can I get paid anywhere else for this? Because you're married into something that may not feel comfortable anymore. But now you can make intentional choices. Now you can ask yourself what it is you need, and you can answer from within inside yourself. It is possible to live the life that you desire. But a few key things have to kind of be intact in order to do this. And one is acknowledging and being aware of who you are, being comfortable in who you are, creating a comfortable life, and then doing this within your soul and not within ego. You will not find comfort in things. The latest car, especially if you're buying it in ego, that's not going to provide you comfort. You're still whomever you are on the inside. Once you find comfort on the inside, everything on the outside reflects that. And you will care way less about your status, your class, your age, your ethnicity, your race, your wallet, your bank account, what kind of clothes you wear, what kind of car you drive. When you start to honor everything around you, you can feel the variation of the honoring. Because you'll maybe honor a pair of shoes you put on. and realize, why am I honoring these shoes? They get me from A to B, but are they comfortable? Are they me? Do they make me me? And things just start to fall away. It's so much easier to release toxic people, toxic environments, toxic things. Make intentional choices. Connect with yourself. Find comfort. Don't settle. Honor the things around you. Honor the people around you. Honor the experiences around you. Honor the things that house and protect you. Find out which items you're honoring bring you comfort, and multiply those things, and allow everything else to fall away. It brings you so much freedom. It brings you so much sovereignty, because you're no longer connected to things outside of yourself. You're now connected to you and how you feel and where you want to go. You are everything you need. It is your responsibility to humble yourself, to find comfort. And it's not necessarily easy, but it's also not necessarily hard. It's all in your perspective. Thank you so much for tuning in. I honor you and I honor this moment. And I'm filled with gratitude. To be able to reflect on life and journey, and hopefully help provide comfort for anyone tuning in. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful, beautiful night. I'm sending you love and light, and I feel blessed. I feel comfort. Thank you.